you from the 37th parallel on America's haunted highway. It's Pixelated Paranormal, your guide to the unusual and the strange.
Like you probably didn't read any of mine. Nice. Thanks, buddy boy. Ho, 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 and welcome back to Pixelated Paranormal. This be episode 341, and that means it is our 2024 Christmas special. I, of course, am Sean, and tonight I'm drinking Santa's Brass, a 2022 whiskey barrel and port wine barrel aged barley wine. Ho, ho, holy shit, it is delicious. With me, as always, is Preston. Preston, what's got you in the holiday spirit tonight? What are you drinking on?
I'm just drinking a Dr. Pepper right now because my brother and his girlfriend came over for Christmas. We always do Christmas a little bit early because of our schedule with the kids. Oh, yeah. What's up, all you cool ghosts and goblins, you crocodins, crocodingos, you skeletors and skelets, and witchers and witches, and whatever the fuck else you want to be. Back to my story. So I made breakfast for the family this morning, and we had eggs Benedict, and then I made grapefruit mimosas. So I was sipping on mimosas all morning long, and then one of the nice presents that Jason bought me for Christmas this year was a bottle of Japanese Imperial sake. It got me a sake set, like the actual bottle to put it in to heat up.
Damn.
And some ceramic little cups. And so halfway through me being pissy, I decided to go pour a bottle of sake, heat it up, and had warm sake while everybody else was opening up their presents. And his girlfriend used to own a bakery in Chicago. And so last year she made these really nice, scrumptious, thick-ass sugar cookies that were really nicely decorated. And everybody ate them, and I didn't get to get as many as I wanted, so I kept joking that I wanted a bag of dick-shaped cookies, and she brought me a whole bag of dick-shaped cookies. I got, like, big dicks, little dicks, medium-sized dicks, dicks with mustaches, dicks with bow ties. I got a dick that, like, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, so I got a bag of dicks, I got some sake. I've been drinking all day, so I'm just drinking Dr. Pepper.
So you just got to kind of just sober up a little bit. Meanwhile, mommy's got her juice in hand, and I'm ready to go.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like it, pal. Well, I'm excited for this episode. I always look forward to these Christmas episodes because they're kind of a challenge anymore because we've covered a lot. We're back at it again, though. It's Christmas 2024, and it wouldn't be the holiday season if we weren't back yet again bringing you another heaping helping of winter-themed monsters to share at your Christmas dinner table with all your family, because let's face it, they hate you anyway, so no, why not make things weird by talking about a bunch of monsters you just learned about? This episode, we got a little dip into the history of Christmas, and then we got another group of bizarre winter creatures. Hairy humanoids, a trio of angry ghost witches, and all sorts of other bizarre winter spirits that can't wait to tear you apart or maybe eat you whole. So Preston, here we are, buddy. The tree's decorated, the presents are all wrapped up. Why don't we just fucking get into it, right?
Yeah, hold on real quick, though. What's up, Jeremy? Mm-hmm. Jeremy says port is poop. I don't know if I agree with that, Jeremy, but you did text me the other day and said, hey, what's up, guys? What's going on with all those fucking drones? Don't worry, buddy. It's not the aliens. It's the U.S. government. They're fucking with us. I guarantee you. Nothing to worry about. So no worries. All right? Just enjoy the Christmas folklore while you play your fucking nerdy board games. What board games are you playing? Is it Monopoly? Is it the Game of Life?
Is it Risk?
Mousetrap? Uno?
Ticket to Ride?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, speaking of holidays, if you want to just absolutely destroy your family and tear them apart at this year's Christmas get-together, go out, buy yourself Uno, Show Them No Mercy, or I think it might just be called No Mercy. Bring that to your Christmas party with family and just watch how an entire family dynamic eats itself cannibalistic style, because that game truly is no mercy.
Your wife says hi to. Hi, wife.
Oh, shucks. Hi, babe. Well, back in 2016, we talked about the cruel, creepy characters like Krampus and Der Bärschnickel. We talked about Frau Perch, how she'd fill your belly with trash and dirt and sweep up your entrails on the floor after she cut you open. We came back then in 2021 talking about Hans Trop, the holiday scarecrow who would also cut open your stomach, pull out your entrails, and shove your belly full of straw. We talked about the Mari Lud, the horse-headed phantom who kicks down your door, lets itself in to eat all your food and steal all your booze. Then we came again with yokais, giant snowy mountain gods, angry spirits that would cut you up and bury you in the snow, if not do a lot of worse things to you. But anyway, all sorts of Japanese creepy goodness. Well, this year we're back yet again with another batch of winter spirits to chill your bones. But first, Preston, why don't you get into a little bit of the stuff you came up with, because you jumped into a really neat book. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, last year my wife bought me this book as a stocking stuffer, The Scary Book of Christmas Lore by Timothy Rayburn. 50 terrifying Yuletide tales from around the world. So I cracked this bad boy open, and I'm gonna give you a history lesson on old Saint Nick. And since Saint Nicholas is central to many Christmas tales and legends, let's explore the darker side of old Santa Claus. Saint Nicholas, also known as Saint Nick, is an historical figure behind Santa Claus. Spoilers. He lived in Asia Minor, present-day Turkey, from around 270 CE until his death on December 6, 343. His feast day is still celebrated on that date. During his lifetime, he was known as Nicholas of Bari, a Greek bishop in the era of the Roman Empire, who was not officially Christian and had a minimal Christian population. Details around his life are sparse, but numerous legends have emerged about him over the years. Many of these stories highlight his generosity and his habit of secretly providing gifts or money for those in need, making him perhaps the first secret Santa. One notable tale recounts how he saved 3 girls from being forced into prostitution by secretly dropping bags of gold through their windows for 3 consecutive nights, enabling their father to afford their dowries. When the father discovered his identity on the 3rd night, Nicholas urged him to keep this kindness a secret.
That version of Santa reminds me of that movie Violent Night.
Yeah.
With Santa being kind of a bit of just a haggard brute. Like, that's the Santa Claus I want, dropping, bags of money down my chimney.
Yeah, it's the time of year you don't need to be a whore anymore. Here's money.
Jesus.
Nicholas was also attributed with performing miracles, including calming a stormy sea while sailing to the Holy Land and exorcising demons. However, the most famous legend involves 3 children and a malevolent butcher. According to the story, the children, lost and hungry, sought refuge in a butcher's shop after wandering into town. The butcher welcomed them but harbored dark intentions. He brutally killed and butchered them, preserving their remains in the barrels of brine, and sold them as ham. Years later, Nicholas learned of the butcher's heinous crimes and confronted him. He ordered the butcher to open up the barrel, and upon doing so, Nicholas made the sign of the cross and commanded the children to rise. Miraculously, the dismembered bodies were restored and the children were brought back to life. While the fate of the butcher remains unclear, later legends suggest that he was compelled to serve alongside Nicholas, enduring years of punishment for his sins, a.k.a. the butcher is none other than Krampus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I had heard tales of Santa. Santa. I almost said Santa Christ, because it's kind of the same thing if he's resurrecting people back from the dead. I heard tales of Santa saving children who were about to be butchered, but just like, grim fairy tales.
Yeah, they got chopped the fuck up. They got chopped the fuck up, and he brought them back.
Man, yeah, these stories are like grim fairy tales, and they are truly that.
Yeah, you know what other Christmas fable kind of got whitewashed and watered down for the children. The Nutcracker. That's right. It's arguably the most renowned ballad globally and beloved holiday tradition that millions eagerly anticipate each year.
You said ballad and it's ballet.
Yeah, I fucking hate it. I don't like it, but whatever. Even those who aren't fond of the ballet often appreciate this particular performance, or at least pretend to. That's right, just to get into the Christmas spirit. However, you might be surprised to learn that its premiere in 1982 was met with critical disappointment.
1892.
What'd I say?
1982.
Yeah, I'm still, you
have been drinking.
the sake is still with me, baby. Much to the chagrin of its composer, Petro Yayik-Travasky. Dude, I nailed the fuck out of that.
You did.
Yeah.
Man. You couldn't do 1892, but holy shit,
Your
Russian is on point.
Dude, my Russian's on point, and I'm just imagining right now getting back into Black Ops 6 and blowing some Russians apart. That's what it is. Mr. Travasky, let's go. Anyways, he had agreed to compose the ballet on the condition that his opera, Lolo Ayanta, would be performed as a double feature. That's right, a ballet and an opera in one concert. The Russian Tsar attended the premiere and enjoyed the ballet, but critics were far less kind, labeling it as childish and tedious. They even insulted the dancers portraying the Sugar Plum Fairy, which seems rather harsh. But to make matters worse, the dancers who played the Nutcracker tragically took his own life with a razor to escape arrest. Yeah.
It's like that GIF I sent you. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. The story behind the ballet is considerably older, though. Written in 1816, it was titled The Nutcracker and the Mouse King. And while the title may sound familiar, there are notable differences. The author, Ernest Theodor Wilhelm Hoffmann, born 1776 to 1822, had a penchant for tales with inanimate objects coming to life, making the Nutcracker theme quite fitting. In his version, the protagonist is named Maria, not Clara. Maria lives in a restrictive household and often escapes into her dreams, which are not always pleasant and can be filled with strange and grotesque imagery resembling nightmares. Despite this, she prefers these dreams to her waking life. In her dream, the Nutcracker comes to life and battles a grotesque seven-headed rat king. Marie gets injured during this adventure, cutting off her own arm on broken glass from a cabinet. When Marie shares her dreams with her family, they forbid her from discussing them due to their unsettling nature. Still, she insists that she would rather marry the Nutcracker and reside in the bizarre world than remain in her current reality. Eventually, she gets her wish as the Nutcracker comes to life, and she chooses to leave with him for the land of her dreams, filled with wonders and terrors. In 1844, Alexandre Dumas, known for The Three Musketeers, rewrote the story to make it a more family-friendly, and this version served as the basis for Travasky's ballet. In recent years, some dance companies have started to incorporate elements from the original tale, including the seven-headed Rat King. However, will anyone ever have the audacity to fully bring Marie's haunting holiday dream to life on the stage?
Dude, that sounds like a fever dream. Holy shit.
Yeah. It says Sean's really quiet, huh?
Can you kick me up on your end? Give us 1 second, folks. Technical difficulties.
Dun, 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 dun.
Kicking up a little bit.
Hold on, let me look at Discord and see what Discord's got you at, baby. See if that sounds better, people.
Yeah, see here real quick. Let me say a couple things. How about holy shit, I want to see that fever dream version of the Nutcracker.
I don't know. I mean, it sounds good on my end, but that's because I got your voice in my headphones.
Yep, I'd say drop it down just a skosh, and that should be perfect, buddy.
What about that?
Oh, he says louder, Sean. How loud do you want it, Daddy? Boom, 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 ba da da.
You must know your
What
brother
do
because
you-
your brother always wants it louder.
Yeah, I think that's good.
We're gonna roll.
Sorry, that was me re-listening to it. Sorry, you keep it whatever you had. It's fine.
Okay.
Let's try that and see.
Yeah, we'll
Let's
try that.
and see.
We'll try that and see. Anyways, enough of the Nutcracker. Have we ever talked about Bloody Thomas?
I don't think we have.
I'm
I
gonna-
mean, we've been doing Christmas specials in and out for 9 years. Bloody Thomas doesn't remind me of anything I can think of. I know we did Black. Was it Black Peter?
Oh yeah, Black Peter.
Yeah.
Well,
Ooh.
sometimes you get your normal Sean Preston is louder. Listen, Abel. Thanks.
Okay, we'll do that. Works for me. Okay.
Okay.
Bloody Thomas. Tell me about Bloody Thomas, buddy.
On this evening of December 21st, coinciding with the winter solstice, a fearsome creature is said to emerge from the woods of Bavaria known as Bloody Thomas, or sometimes Thomas with a hammer. This ogre-like beast wields a blood-soaked hammer that he hits people in the head with. His name is linked to Saint Thomas, whose feast days also falls on December 21st, creating a clear connection. However, unlike Doubting Thomas, the disciple who required proof of Jesus' wound to believe, Bloody Thomas is far less kind toward the local populace. Like many winter creatures, Thomas punishes those who misbehave, and his bloody hammer is a clear indication of his methods. It is believed that the legend of this monster may have originated from the tradition of slaughtering animals for winter on December 21st, a day also dedicated to beloved local sausage making. Could Thomas be using his hammer to punish naughty children and tenderize their flesh for his own sinister sausages? It's a chilling thought, turning brats into brats, a mere speculation.
Yes.
The legend the legend of this terrifying figure inspired a local tradition of a mischievous prank on St. Thomas Day, wherein people would impersonate Bloody Thomas to frighten children. A farmer or laborer might smear animal blood on themselves and then return home to scare their kids, banging loudly on the door and threatening to smash skulls or limbs if the children misbehave. They would then open the door just a crack, thrusting a bloody foot or leg into the cottage to terrify the little bastards into good behavior,
Jesus.
ensuring they obeyed their parents to survive another day. Some even donned a grotesque mask and peeked around the doors, provoking screams from the frightened children. Horrible yet amusing. Presumably, the children were sufficiently frightened to behave throughout the holiday season, possibly earning some gifts as a treats as a reward. Over time, the legends of Bloody Thomas and the associated customs faded, as is often the case. However, in a few remote areas of Bavaria, he occasionally reappears alongside Saint Nicholas and Krampus in festivities, strangely depicted as a monstrous bird. In earlier times, he served as a chilling reminder of the dangers lurking in the forest shadows, and a warning to stay close to home. Least he returned on December 21st to claim you for his grotesque pantry.
Dude, talk about an interesting timing. Today is Saturday, December 21st.
Yeah.
Nice. I
Yeah.
like the synchronicity there,
Yeah.
man. Dude, European Santa Claus is just so much more metal than chubby, rosy-cheeked Coca-Cola Santa Claus in the U.S.
I mean, look,
Yeah,
he's buying off hookers. He's raising chopped up kids from the dead. He hangs out with a guy that bashes the fuck out of naughty kids. The other guy that was the butcher now has to whip the shit out of kids and put them in a bag, and it's got devil horns. Yeah, European Santa Claus is like fucking death metal, and we got fucking country or,
Our Santa Claus went soft.
yeah. We don't even have the Creed version of Santa Claus. I mean, if you're gonna go like Christian, you could give us a little Creed in your Santa Claus, but
Little Scott Staff. Yeah,
little
man,
Scott
I'd be into
Staff.
it. This Santa Claus is the one on Call of Duty 6 that has like the Soviet crosses on his knees. And
Yeah.
running around in a bathrobe.
Yeah,
Again, it's drunken, violent night Santa Claus.
fucking just slaps people in the face with like bags, and he's like, You know, you no longer have to suck dick. Bam! And just like hits him in the face, gives him the money.
Yeah, show up for the Santa Claus story, stay for Preston's
Really bad
accents.
accents.
Yeah, those are my favorite.
Merry Christmas,
Absolutely.
bitch. Merry Christmas.
Well, from there, I brought a whole slew of creatures, both holiday and just winter themed. So, shall we get into it? Gosh darn it, I loved the yokai so much when we did the yokai stories. I brought one with me to start things off. I don't think we've ever talked about the Namahage. The Namahage are frightful demon-like yokai which live in the mountains along the northern coast of the Sea of Japan. Now, these things look a lot like the Oni, with their bright red or blue skin, their wild hair, fiery eyes, big old mouths full of large, sharp teeth, with horns sprouting from their foreheads. But these guys are a little different because they also wear straw leggings and raincoats and carry large, sharp blades. Kind of similar to Hans von Trapp, that scarecrow demon that killed a bunch of people over in Europe. Anyway, once a year, the Kashigatsu, which is the first full moon of the new year, brings along the Namahage who descend from the mountains to scare local villagers. They go from door to door, brandishing their knives, saying things like, "Any bad kids in there?" And particularly, they enjoy scaring small children and also new brides.
You forgot the classic "Oh!" with the samurai sword.
Nope, that's offensive. They knock on the door and ask if there's any bad kids in there. And they also like to scare small children and new brides. Despite their ferocious appearance and behavior, they're actually seemingly well-meaning yokai. They're sent down from the mountain as messengers from the gods to warn and chastise those who have been lazy or wicked, oftentimes asking another strange and taunting question: "Have your blisters peeled yet?" Because in the cold winter months, lazy people often spend their time, instead of doing chores, laid up near the fires to stay warm and cozy. But when you lay too close to the fireplace, you oftentimes get blisters on your feet from being too close to the heat for too long. So their namesake literally comes from two words: Namomi, which is the regional name for heat blisters, and Hagu, which means to peel. So their name pretty much translates to peeling blisters, or the Namahage. Today, the Namahage play a major part in the New Year's festivities in the Akita Prefecture. Villagers will dress up in straw raincoats and leggings, don oni masks, and wield large knives. Then, they go from house to house, playing the part of the Namahage. Residents visited by the Namahage will give presents such as mochi to their guests, while the Namahage chastise kids and warn them to be good in the upcoming year. Also, newlywed couples are harassed by the Namahage. They're expected to give an account of all the evil deeds they did during their first year married together, as well as serve them sake and food to the Namahage before sending them off to the next house.
Sake.
Yeah, dude. While the name Namahage is unique to the Akita Prefecture, similar yokai are known by many other local names in neighboring regions. You've got different creatures very similar. Hold on a second, I skipped over that. Yeah, we're going to butcher a couple names. How about this? They're also known as the Amahagi, the Ishikawa, the Amahagahagi, and also the the Apusha. And these guys are a lot like the Marilud, the horse-faced drunken demon that visits you to asking you riddles, getting into rap battles with you, just to bust inside your house uninvited to eat all your food and drink all your booze. Yeah, good stuff. Up next, we have the Urayuli. In the vast and mystical landscape of Alaska, where the dances of the Aurora Borealis light up the night sky, there resides a creature as enigmatic as the land itself, the Urayuli. This creature has statues that loom all across the lands, in the forests, hung on the sides of ancient trees, even inside villages at local businesses. The Yuri is a towering figure shrouded in a thick, hair-like coat with whispers of the secrets of the wilderness. This entity, part of a rich tapestry of the Alaska Native American folklore, embodies the mystery and the awe of the natural world. The origin of the Yuri is woven into the fabric of the night, and it's said to be a creature that was once a human, lost in the woods as a child. Abandoned by time, these creatures grew into colossal beings with arms that could span the breadth of rivers and eyes that would glow like two twin moons in the dark. These luminous orbs are often the only hint of their presence, flickering through the dense foliage like transient stars. The Yuri is not a creature of malice, but instead one of solitude and intrigue. They're silent watchers of the forest, guardians of secrets that lie deep within the earth and the water. Their long arms, though intimidating, aren't tools of harm, but actually just of gentle curiosity, reaching out to touch the leaves, the water, and flow dancing through the very air that echoes their legend. Encounters with the Yuri are rare and always bathed in some kind of mystique. Those who've caught a glimpse of this elusive creature speak of a feeling that's not fear, but instead a profound awareness of being in the presence of something ancient and otherworldly. The Yuri say they watch from a I'm sorry. The Yuri they say watch from a distance, their glowing eyes filled with unspoken understanding. Despite their appearance, though, the Yuri are not known to cause harm to humans, but instead they wander the edge of civilization and wilderness as a reminder of the thin veil that separates our world from the unknown. They're the embodiment of the wild, untamed spirit of Alaska and a symbol of harmony and balance that must exist in these remote, beautiful lands. And yet, all of their strength and mystery, the Yuri have a vulnerability. They're bound to the land, to the rivers and forests of their birth. Their existence is fragile, a thread in the tapestry of the world, easily unraveled by the encroachment of civilization and fading beliefs. In the heart of Alaska, where the shadows of trees stretch long and the rivers whisper secrets, the Yuri continue to roam. A fleeting glimpse, a shadow in your periphery of vision, they remain a beautiful enigma and a bridge between our world and the realm of the unknown. So these guys are very similar to, like, the good side of Bigfoot.
Yeah. Jeremy says, Huchin Ikawa favors you. Live long, whelp, live long. I forgot that he's a Japanese nerd. We were
okay. Has he been drinking sake too?
Probably. We
juice?
when I was in Arizona, the raccoon that's got the magical testicles. Do we remember what that yokai was called? It's one of my favorite yokai.
It was the tanuki.
Right. So the
ball raccoon dog.
Yeah, the Kinsey, the fox spirit.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a pub there that's named after the fox spirit and Kitsume. So we went down there and we had some Japanese themed micro brews, and I was like, how the fuck do you know about all this? And he told me and I forgot because
that's rad, man.
I have an old man memory, but
dude, we should have him on the show and do another dive into some more yokai, man.
Yeah, look at that. He's like, yeah, Kitsune is Fox. Fucking nerd knows all this. All right.
Hey, dude. I mean,
yeah,
calling him a nerd is like the pot calling the kettle black.
Hey, you can't say that anymore.
Apparently, that is incredibly inherently racist as well, and I didn't realize that. Preston and I had to go take sensitivity training a couple years ago, not because of something we did, just because the company wanted everyone to do it. And we learned a lot of stuff we say in our common vernacular is incredibly offensive.
Yeah. Apparently, I need more sensitivity training.
Yeah, a lot of it didn't stick for Preston.
Yeah.
Well, next up, we have the Taryaksuk. From the expansive realm of Inuit mythology, a fascinating humanoid entity known as the Taryaksuk emerges from the depths of folklore. Often dubbed as the Shadow People, The Taryak Suk embodies the essence of shadows, invisibility, and enigmatic obscurity, existing in a realm beyond our own perception. These creatures inhabit an alternate reality, a parallel dimension mirroring our own, where the boundaries between the tangible and the ethereal blur seamlessly. Across the vast and unforgiving Arctic landscape, where tales of mythical beings intertwine in the daily lives of the resilient Inuit people, the legend of the Taryaksuk hold a prominent place. Now, these creatures physically look a lot like humans, except they have a very strange, elongated face with horns on top of their heads, very similar to caribou. And they also diverge from ordinary people in a peculiar manner. You can't see them with the naked eye.
Everything always looks like a
Direct-
human until it doesn't. Like you get up on it and it's
Yeah.
like, surprise, motherfucker. And you're like,
Yeah,
Jesus
spoiler.
Christ.
Jesus Christ! Spoiler alert! Yeah, everything's a fucking trickster. No, if anybody watched the show Hannibal, the cannibal Wendigo spirit, oftentimes seen on there, is a humanoid character with just caribou antlers. So that's what these things look like. And in Antarctica, there's oftentimes cases of people seeing these like weird.
Antarctica's down south. There's nothing down there, bud, but
What did I say?
pangolin.
Alaska or sorry, Alaska.
There you go.
Alaska. Yeah, people.
Somebody's
say off
been
in the
drinking.
distance- Dude, I have. It's kicking in already. People have these weird, mirages of what they think is somebody walking up in front of them, and if they look at them and kind of squint, they can't see them. But out of the corner of their eye, they kind of catch a glimpse of what they think might be another person. Anyway, direct confrontation with these creatures is said to trigger their disappearance or withdrawal into an unseen parallel dimension. The sole trace of their presence is often a fleeting silhouette of their shadow, a tantalizing glimpse into the mysterious world they live in. Only in death, though, according to certain legends, does the true visage of the Teriaksuk emerge, a haunting amalgamation of human and caribou features. That's right, guys, when one of these things dies, apparently you can catch a glimpse of it then, and it looks like a human had a baby with a deer, and that thing is an abomination. Anyway, they materialize as a hybrid being, part human, part caribou. But additionally, their hunting prowess is restricted to pursuing prey on foot, adding yet another layer of complexity to their existence. But here's what's weird. Basically, in folklore, it tells us that they live seemingly an identical mirroring existence to ours, just kind of adjacent. So imagine you and I going to work every day, having a family, having domiciles, learning to use tools. Everything's the same except we have elongated faces and pointy antlers on top of our heads.
Oh.
Strange.
Maybe the deer version of me is an asshole too.
Maybe, but I bet he's more sensitive to cultural differences. The next creature I want to talk about is pretty fucking cool.
Hold on. Jeremy, you don't worry about it, sir. You school us all day long on Japanese folklore and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
If there's two idiots that mispronounce everything, it's Preston and I.
Yeah.
It's funny writing this, even just doing that one little ditty about that one yokai. I remember somebody jumping down our throats. They were like, "You guys suck at pronouncing Japanese." And our response was, "Yeah,
Yeah.
we do."
We also suck at pronouncing everything else, so.
Yeah. But I can pronounce the shit out of this next name, right?
Yeah,
Really
Kaliachi!
No, it's not Kaliachi. It's Kaliak. Kaliuk.
Uk.
Like you gotta have that.
Kaliuk!
that cat hairball at the end of it.
Ugh.
I'm gonna call it the Kaliak though, because I think it's offensive for me to add the at the end. The Kaliak, also known as Kaliak Bira or the Hag Bira, also known as the Veiled One, is a crone or witch-like figure of the Celtic world. The Kaliak, whose name literally translates into old woman, is a divine hag in Celtic mythology associated with Scotland, Ireland, and the Isle of Man. She's regarded as the goddess of the winds, the wilderness, and winter. The Kaliak primarily appears to those lucky, or in some cases unlucky enough to see her, as a veiled old woman, in many cases with only one good eye. Her skin is a deathly pale blue, while her teeth, a stark contrast, are said to be stained crimson red, and her clothing adorned with many skulls of both man and animal, but also other unknown creatures. But even though her appearance is haunting, she also is a total elemental badass, able to leap across entire mountainsides and even ride on the backs of thunderstorms. In Manx tradition, the Kaliak was a shapeshifter, capable of transforming into a giant bird. The Veiled One is the creator deity.
It's like Bloody Tom, Bloody Tim.
Yeah, dude. I was going to say, I didn't read your part first before I typed all this up, but yeah, birds have an interesting reoccurring theme in a lot of European folklore. The Veiled One is the creator deity that shaped much of the known landscape. Whether she did so intentionally remains unclear, but her tools of creation and destruction include her hammer, with which she's able to control storms and thunder. In some legends, she also controlled a well that would occasionally overflow when she wasn't paying attention, causing vast floods across the land. She's kind of like Thor.
Yeah.
Thor's grandma.
Thor's grandma.
The Kaliak was neither fully good nor fully evil. Her intentions vary from tale to tale. Though her association with storms and thunder, she was natural and wild, a destructive force. Despite this, though, she also cared deeply for animals, both wild and domestic, during dark winter months. In all the Gaelic-speaking regions, she's the patron of wolves, emboldened by winter hunger.
Sounds like
In
your grandma
Scotland-
from the D&D game.
Oh, yeah, kind of, huh? Interesting. Also in Scotland, she serves as a deer herder. The Kaliak was both ageless and immortal. As winter gave way to spring, she oftentimes takes a drought that returns her to a youthful state. And again, in Manx legend, she spends half the year as a young woman in the spring, and in the other half, in the winter months, she serves as an old crone. She's not only known as the Kaliak during the and she's only known as the Kaliak during the later half. And in Ireland, she had 7 periods of youth, after which she remains permanently old. So this creature kind of tends to kind of have little tweaks to her backstory, depending what region you're in. But here's one of the funnest facts about the old winter crone. She shares an unusual link with our American groundhog pal, Poxatunny Phil. Only she gets after things one day earlier. On Imbolc, or February 1st, every single year when the Kaliak runs out of firewood for the winter, she transforms into the great bird and collects firewood in her beak. As she collects firewood as an old woman, or a bird, she wishes for winter to last longer, so she makes the day sunny and bright to enable her search longer for more firewood to draw out the winter months. But in some instances, if she accidentally oversleeps, the day turns dark, stormy, and gray in her angst. So she ushers in spring earlier since she didn't manage to get enough firewood to last her any longer. Thus, in tradition, on February 1st, if it's gray and wintry, the Kaliak must have slept in, ushering in a much quicker spring. If the day is bright and light out, winter is going to last a little longer because she's out collecting extra wood. She likes it cold, baby. She likes it cold.
Let me take a stab at this next one. Is it the boo cock?
Good enough. I was going to call it the Bokuk, is how a lot of the YouTube videos pronounce it, the Bokuk. But, bukkake, that's fine too, buddy. Spatchcock it.
Yeah.
The Bokuk, this is kind of cool. This is a whole festival based around a really cool folklore. Every year in the city of... hold on, let me get a drink.
Get a drink. Use your words.
Mm-hmm. Every year in the city of Edirne, Turkey, sometime between January 6th and January 18th, during the coldest night of the year, people gather from all over the land to dress up like ghosts, donning white sheets and scary makeup, all in order to harass, taunt, and scare other members of the community in what is truly a bizarre yet oh so familiar celebration of the coldest night of the year called Bokuk Jiseki. Taking place since the Middle Ages in Kumlika, which is a village in Adirne's district of Kasan, Bokuk Jiseki is a special nighttime celebration held on what is deemed the longest and coldest night of the year to commemorate the community's power of resistance against the harsh climate conditions and also to invoke the spirit of the Bokuk, which is just so happens to be an unrelenting family of notorious ghosts. The Bokuk is a term used in Thracian regions to refer to the longest, thus harshest night of the year, and is also the annual celebration called Bokuk Night. This year, that night has been determined to be Saturday, January 18th. According to medieval Balkan superstitions, this bizarre holiday has been derived on a special night where it's believed that it splits the universe in which the evil spirits are thus set free to roam the natural world. That, of course, includes the worst of the worst, which happens to be the Bokuk family. As in addition to referring to the coldest night of the year, the word Bokuk also becomes the name of a series of 3 witch-like entities, referred to as the Bokuk wife, the Bokuk mother, and the Bokuk grandfather, all who are believed to be awoken during this night. According to legend, these witches wander through the night, banging on windows, howling up in storm up and down the streets, taunting villagers, and basically keeping everybody up all night long. But in an especially dastardly heinous act, at the end of the night causing this, run amok, banging on windows, trying to steal everybody's food, keeping everybody on edge. The Bokuk phantoms slowly make their way to each and every villager's barn to suckle from the mothers of newborn calves.
Gotta get that titty milk.
Which, according to belief, would supposedly then render the mother cow unable to ever produce milk again, ruining the natural milk supplies for the farmers, and also killing off the newborn calves. But it's certainly not all gloom and doom, as supposedly there's a way to stave off this family of Bokuk ghosts. And it's simple.
How do you stave off the boo-cock? You got a cock block.
You got a fucking spatchcock.
Yeah.
No, this is really cool, Preston. Don't anybody worry, because we have a way to stave off the Bokuk. All you have to do is make a plethora of pumpkin-based desserts. Because here's the thing.
Pumpkin pie?
What do the Bokuk love more than sucking titty milk from a mama cow? Pumpkin pie. All you got to do is make pumpkin pie, pumpkin cake, pumpkin whatever. Make it, eat it, be fat, happy, but don't forget to leave a plate of it on the roof. Of
pumpkin spice latte?
Fuck yeah, dude. I'd be happy. I'd leave all your cow titties alone. If you gave me a pumpkin spice latte. No, you make your pumpkin pies and your pumpkin cakes and you leave them on the top of your thatch roofs, because when the Bokuk phantoms show up, right before they start banging and clanging on shit, they have to say, oh, wait, what's that? Is that a pumpkin dump cake?
Man, these boo-cock witches are basic bitches.
Yeah. That's the new title for the episode. Boo-cock witches are basic bitches. Man. If you give them enough pumpkin pie and pumpkin cake, they'll get so distracted. They'll eat their fill and just be like, time to hit the old dusty trail. Yeah. And they'll walk right off into the sunset, leaving your cows and calves alone, living to see another day.
That pumpkin spice latte really hit the spot. I ain't got room for titty milk no more. All right, catch y'all next year.
I mean, I suppose you can give it a squirt of fresh milk in there, just to kind of give them a taste of home. But yeah, man, if you want to save your cow titty milk, you just got to leave out, pumpkin pie on your roof for these things, and they'll just get so distracted by all the dessert, they'll just be like, fuck it, and leave. But anyway, thus concludes our 2024 Christmas roundup of even more winter monsters to chill your bones.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's it, man. We've talked about a lot of winter spirits, buddy, and every year the list gets a little shorter and a little shorter, so I'm anxious to see what happens next year, but I think we had a pretty good lineup this year.
Yeah. I got a couple chapters on. It was Saint Nick a druid? Was Saint Nick a medicine man?
Ooh, okay.
Who was Saint Nick? So I didn't want to throw too much in here, and blow my wad early, since I know we got next Christmas.
That's true.
I didn't want to spashcock my boo cock, if you know what I mean.
I don't, but it sounds great. Really, I'm going into Facebook here looking at comments. My wife says no Creed. Babe, it's all Creed. But also, those tickets are like $120 a person for cheap seats, so fuck that, Scott Staff.
Yeah.
I'll just stick to singing it with Preston while we play Call of Duty at night and, serenade Corey.
Will you take me higher? That Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that I sent you, and
Yeah, that shit's awesome. Preston sent me an AI rendition of Creed singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to Can You Take Me Higher? And it's really fucking awesome. It's really good. Oh, man. All right. Well, everybody, if you're on the social medias, give us a follow on Instagram, PXL Paranormal. On Facebook, you can watch us live and follow us at the Pixelated Paranormal Podcast.
You can watch us live on YouTube.
Preston, talk to me about YouTube.
You can watch us live on YouTube. We haven't gained any subscribers since last time. So look, if you're watching on YouTube and you have people that like weird shit, that like to talk about spashcock and the boo cocking, share the podcast with your friends. We've gained one on Rumble, so slowly but surely we're going up there. But look, guys, if you need a beard, if you want a beard, if you want to grow the best damn beard possible, it's February 1st and you have a problem with bucocks, let me tell you, don't worry about them stealing your titty milk. All you got to do is go over to BigDobsBeardBomb.com and use promo code PXLPARA for 20% off your order. Pick yourself up scents like bay rum, fresh, citrus, mint. Oh no, we're not doing mint anymore. He got rid of mint. Classic sweet tobacco and Spartan. One of those smells like cinnamon and nutmeg and a little bit of pumpkin spice and everything nice. So, I mean, look, you put that on your face, the bucocks are going to show up. They're going to smell that. They're going to lick your beard, not suck on your cow titties, and then they're going to get out of there. And then you're going to have a good-looking beard. You're going to save the day. Use promo code PXLPARA for 20% off your order. Spread some holiday cheer. There's a couple days left. I don't know when this episode's going to drop. Maybe right around Christmas, so you're fucked, maybe next year. But, hey, you still got loved ones, birthdays, anniversaries, whatever. Give them dobs. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will get this thing edited probably tomorrow morning so we get it up before Christmas so folks have something to listen to. But, yeah, good shit. And I want to give a shout out to our friend Lisa. Lisa dropped a little crying, laughing face emoji on episode 340. So yeah, thanks for watching, Lisa. And here's to a speedy, healthy recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. If you're in the Wichita area, stop by, see Leslie and the rest of the gang over at CD Trade Post, Pawnee, and Seneca. Long live physical media. And go by and see our friends over at paranormal.cafe. Grab yourself a coffee and a scone. And with that, I raise this glass of barrel-aged barley wine, Santos Brass, and I say, Happy Christmas, Hana Kwanzaa, and whatever else you celebrate. For those who do, and for those who don't, we still love you. And also, cheers to the weird shit in the world and those of us that talk about it.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, and stay spooky, and stay on the paranormal highway.
The cast at Pixelated Paranormal would like to thank you for listening to this week's episode. Pixelated Paranormal is here to tell you tales of the fantastical, the strange, the unknown. Tales that will move you a little further down the paranormal highway. If you'd like to share your own listener story, we would love to hear it. Email us at pixelatedparanormal@gmail.com. Again, that's pixelatedparanormal@gmail.com. We'd really love to hear from you. Again, thanks for listening to this week's episode of Pixelated Paranormal, your guide to the unusual and the strange.